Well, welcome to tonight's show. You're with Tom, Brian and Steve, and this is NRL from the Sidelines. As we do every week, we're going to talk about the latest round of NRL games, and between talking about next week's games, we're going to have a chat about the State of Origin teams that were announced only yesterday. So, gentlemen, how was your week? Brian, I'll start with you. How was your week?
It doesn't have to be just football.
Well, actually it does.
Okay.
It's an NRL show.
I want to know how much he cried on the weekend.
A river. An ocean full.
And why was that?
Well, we will discuss the game, I'm sure. But
we'll discuss
look,
the game.
you know what? We can have a quick word right now. Now that you asked me about it,
Sure.
it's because Manly have put in effort in every game this year.
Yes.
They were bad. They were bad in the first two rounds.
Yes.
And but they still put in effort.
Yes.
Against the Titans, that effort wasn't there.
No.
And I want to know how they can come out and beat 6 of the top 8 teams and then fall apart against last place.
I think they're just fatigued.
I think it's called complacency.
Well,
But we'll come to it later.
we can.
Tom, how was your week?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yep, sure. I roll with the punches, and we had a few knockouts.
And someone who knocked out pretty severely on the weekend.
Oh, that was a legit tackle. There's nothing wrong with that.
Oh, there was nothing legit about it at all.
Let's wait till we get to the game.
Please.
Seriously.
You are so biased.
Oh, come on.
Thank you, Brian.
I can't believe you're sticking up for it. Anyway. Okay, so let's talk about round 11 of the NRL. Where I'm back. What?
I'm just balancing everything here, including a hot cup of tea.
and I've got no internet, so it's playing up on me tonight.
All right. So Bankwest Stadium Thursday night, where the Penrith Panthers beat the Eels 16-10.
Yes. Didn't see that coming.
Well, I watched the show yesterday and today, and we were so confident about
I know.
all of our tips, and we're so confident there was no way that Penrith were turning this around. And they
Well, we were confident about all our tips. I think we all agreed on most of them.
I was so confident in
how
one
many
of the...
did you get?
I at least got 3, Tom.
How many did you get?
I got 6 because I played a joker.
Tom,
You didn't get 6. I ruined my perfect round. I could have got a perfect round, and Cronulla went and won.
That's right, yeah.
So I got one.
It was 7-0. It was 0-7 until Cronulla played.
Yeah.
Well done. How bad are we going, honestly?
Do it. Well, and I'm probably not on top of the
And we
comp
do
anymore.
this thing so people might actually listen to us.
Or don't. Mind you, I spoke to a number of tipsters this week, and they all went, "Oh man, how many did you get?" And I go, 3, and they go, "Wow, good round."
Well, I took a
You even
couple.
used your joker on one of the rounds.
I know.
I took a couple of gambles too, which didn't pay.
Yeah, big time.
Big time.
Canterbury to beat Melbourne.
Yeah.
Big gamble.
Yeah.
Okay,
All
let's
right.
get back to it.
Yeah.
Parramatta Eels went down to Penrith Panthers 16-10.
Yep.
I got to tell you, I put it on Facebook. Worst game of the year.
Oh, it's
It was
terrible.
It was a shocker of a game.
Yep. Yep.
And I know, talk
there's-
about Nathan Cleary was auditioning for Origin. It was a shocking game,
He was about the best thing in the game.
and he
Honestly.
wasn't good.
He wasn't great, but he was the most solid player in the game.
Yeah,
So it made him stand out.
and I can't believe how bad Ferguson had the game. I mean,
Drop balls, gee whiz.
with the line open.
Yeah.
I always think Cleary was going to be in the State of Origin team. I didn't think there was much doubt about
it
that.
seemed likely.
However,
as the week went on.
Ferguson was auditioning for an Origin spot. He was.
But what was the deal with asking to go to centre?
Yeah,
Seriously.
he's probably one of the best wingers in the game
Yeah.
at the
Yeah.
moment.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
They push him into centre.
No, I don't know. You
Wait,
tell.
wait.
Crazy decision.
And he's never dropped balls like that before.
No.
Maybe once or twice, but never that many
He's
times
pretty
in a
reliable.
game.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Look, just in Nathan Cleary's defence, like you were saying, it was an Origin audition. I'll tell you something's on the nose at the Panthers because there were times when he was screaming for the ball, and they went the other way.
Yeah.
Right.
And sometimes that was happening, 2 or 3 times in a row before they'd get in the ball. And I'm just thinking, well, when your halfback is that desperate for the ball and you're attacking the line,
And-
give him the ball.
Sione
Well-
Katoa went one out a couple of times and made stupid decisions.
Yeah.
So
Kicked the ball out and they had a set attack
yeah,
instead.
too many hard kicks.
Yeah.
and stuff.
sorry Panthers, you might have won, but it wasn't because you won. It was because Parramatta lost it.
So
They
you-
threw it
so
away.
you're saying they're
That's
not
what I
back.
thought too.
So you're saying they're not back.
They're nowhere near back,
No.
and it'll be shown next weekend.
Right.
And by the way, I listened to you last week.
Was scary. On what particular topic?
I picked Parramatta. you said, and I kept saying, do you think Penrith are back? And you said, no. So
Well, they're not.
Away.
But they're not.
All right, let's go on to Lotto Land, where the Titans beat Manly 36-18.
And who saw this coming?
Well, none of us, because none of us tipped this one.
I don't know what to say. Honestly, it might have been complacency.
Yeah.
You were saying something. You've been saying for the last 2 years, Tom. I like the way Trent Robinson talks about the team. How he doesn't make excuses and he doesn't let them get away with bad play.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm liking that about Des too, because
Des
the commentators, the journalist there said, so short turnaround. Well, that's not an excuse. There's short turnarounds. Every team has short turnarounds.
Yeah.
Guys, we just didn't take good options in attack and defence.
And you hope it's a blip. You
Yeah.
just hope it's a blip. That perhaps they were coming, assuming it's the Titans, so we're probably going to
Look,
win.
the concern for Manly though is that they led 12-0,
Yeah, I agree.
and not only let them get back, but let them get back, take over, and just smash them at the end.
Sure.
There's not a lot that that Des can do when it comes to getting rid of players there either. Realistically, with our injuries and our lack of depth, there isn't exactly anyone to step up. Brad Parker played the last half an hour or so of the game with a broken jaw. Right. See, anyone can do it, Steve.
Yes, but was it a grand final?
Quote of the week. Kane LG will be man of the match.
Oh, who said that?
You did last week.
Oh, did I?
Yes.
That was dumb. Kane LG's lucky to be in the team, I think.
Yeah. Well, he's had a couple of good games, but he was back to his usual territory.
Yeah. Look, I don't know. He's up and down in confidence.
When do you think Cherry Evans will be back?
Well, he'll be back for Origin.
He's back for Origin,
so he should be back after that.
Assuming
we don't smash him.
There's a few players. There's a few supporters, Manly supporters, saying, "Well, hang on, he's come out and said he was right to go. He's been right to go for a week now." Well, where were you on Friday night, Cherry? Because we certainly could have used someone to put a bit of pressure on.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah. Kevy might have had a word with him.
Oh yeah. Look, maybe he wasn't right. I don't know, but play in a pinch. I think he might have said.
Right.
But yeah.
Okay.
Certainly, when you lose 36-18,
you could have used him.
Yes.
Yeah, and look, I mean, it wasn't a good game either. It wasn't like
No.
It was hardly a spectacular game. So
Look, when we're up 12-0, I was out, and I'm looking at it and I'm going, and I'm watching it going, sneaky, watch, 12-0. I'm going, right, I can stop this for a minute, and I'll watch it when I get home.
yeah,
The Titans had 40 completed sets to 24.
yeah.
Manly were bad.
Manly were very bad. Yeah.
Yes, I don't know whether the Titans are back, but Manly were bad.
All right, we're going to move on to McDonald Jones Stadium, where the Newcastle Knights beat the Sydney Roosters 38-12.
And that was a absolutely convincing victory.
Listen, let me say, Newcastle were red hot.
They certainly were. There's no doubt about it.
Because I didn't think the Roosters were all that bad.
Look,
but
I think that, the Roosters have been dealing with injuries like a lot of teams recently, and I posted on Facebook that the concern for us is, or the concern for the Roosters, I won't keep saying us, the concern for the Roosters is we can't keep our 17-man squad on the park for an 80-minute period. People seem to going off all the time. We're missing friends. Cronk got laid off, rested. Keary went out in the first 10 minutes or something.
8 minutes, I think.
Yeah, something like that, which led to a try. And that's when it all started to happen. So, I think we're a better team than we've showed. I also think that they could have put 60 on another team because we actually defended for periods. It's 38-12, I get it, but the Roosters defended for long periods really stoutly, and it was the only thing that kept them in the game most of the time. But just to give away 2 tries just on half time, that hurt.
Well, one of the tries that the Roosters scored, I want to talk about it because
The
it was
Roosters?
it's one of the ones that Tedesco scored.
Yep.
from a quick tap.
Yep.
Moved 2 steps sideways, took a quick tap, and ran through and scored.
Mm-hmm.
Within 10 minutes, Newcastle tried to do the same, and
We'll
said,
pull
no,
back.
you can't take a quick tap.
Was it the distance to the line though?
It might have been, but Tedesco took 2 steps to the side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, so he wasn't on the mark.
Hey, don't-
so every
I-
time they say, get on the mark, I don't know what this magic mark is.
I said, you know what? I said the same thing last week. It happened in the Manly game,
Right.
and I don't understand. I'm lost as to why the refs sometimes allow that.
Yeah.
Sometimes they pull it up. Sometimes they let them move off the mark. Sometimes they let them get disentangled and take a step around it. I don't get it.
No. And
A
I'm
bit of
okay.
consistency there.
I agree with the don't take it if you're within the 10. In fact, I think it shouldn't be within the 20. But let them take it. If you're standing on close to this magic mark, then just let them take it, because half the time it gets pulled up and half the time and the mark, to be honest with you, is not only here, but it's 6 inches to the right.
Yeah.
What's the big deal?
Yep.
So given the type of try that it was, and Tedesco was brilliant. Tedesco and Cordner, they were sensational.
Oh, look,
in
Tedesco
a side being smashed,
Yeah.
Tedesco tried everything he could to get them back in the game.
Yep.
Yep.
So you take that try out, which is a bit of individual brilliance and a little bit of luck.
Yeah.
We were pretty ordinary. I mean,
Yeah.
scored another try in the 73rd minute.
Yeah.
Now, really, there were 2 talking points from the game. One, I don't understand why you'd rest Cooper Cronk with a bye next week.
Yep. Yeah,
So-
that was an odd decision.
So, Trent, can you just give us a call and explain that one?
He's
thanks?
explained it in the press conference.
No.
If you watched.
No, I want him to explain it to us.
Yeah.
Yep,
Because we deserve it.
that's right.
Yeah.
And the second one was, Steve, there was a tackle on Kalen
Well, there were
Ponga.
actually 2 tackles.
Highly illegal tackle.
There was 2 tackles. There was
Where-
one on Luke Keary as well, by the way.
The one on Luke Keary was he just fell wrong and bounced his head on the ground.
And that's what
Which
happened
is
to
what
Ponga.
happened with Ponga.
Exactly
No,
the
no,
same
no.
thing happened
Tell
with
me,
Ponga.
tell me how. Tell me how. Because I'm telling you. Don't you tell me. I'm telling you. Hit him.
Can you talk to them?
Look.
No, talk to me.
This is what.
They don't want to look at you.
This is what happened.
Seconds out.
He's hit him. So Ray Hargraves was standing offside.
Yep.
I'll give him that. He's rushed up on the kicker, Kalen Ponga. Hit him in the chest. Straight up. He went over with his arm on his chest.
That's correct.
Like, not even on the neck. Didn't even bounce up until he hit the ground. And I'm sorry, 110 kilo guy coming
and
at
so
you.
his head naturally goes forward because he basically face planted himself.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how you think that's illegal.
You can't face plant with the back of your head, but let me.
He was
He had his
tackling
face on the
him.
ground.
Let me tell you why it's illegal.
Yeah, please do.
Firstly, it was late. It was
It
blatantly
was
late.
marginal.
No.
It was marginal.
blatantly
Yeah,
late.
well, it's
Okay.
not tiddlywinks.
Secondly,
Yep.
what happened was he hit him here.
Yeah.
With his arm, and you're right.
Yeah.
But what happened was, as he went down, his shoulder drove his head into the ground. Look at the
Oh
2
my
tackles.
goodness.
Yeah, totally
You
different.
can't
That's-
penalise that.
You can't. That's not even.
His intention was to
Hang
hit
on.
him across the shoulder.
2 minutes later, they go into a tackle. Tedesco is this far off the ground, gets a love tap on his head, and got a
I
penalty.
agree.
Yeah,
that
that's
that
right.
shouldn't have been a penalty.
Okay, so
Adam
what
Fennell
you're
got
saying is-
2 weeks for doing that.
So there you go.
So
now
I'm
you've
not
got
arguing
someone-
that should have been a penalty.
But that was still hitting him in the head.
So let me tell you, you've got someone who's now driving his shoulder into his head into the ground, and you're saying that's okay.
No.
So he hit him in the head.
No,
Subjective.
it was hit and momentum. It
No,
wasn't
it
like
was.
Sorry.
it wasn't like
It
hit
was.
and even go up to his
Okay,
face.
why do you think, if you think it was such a pure tackle,
Yep.
why do you think now the NRL have looked at it and said, let's take action? Why do you think he's now going to sit out 2 weeks?
No, he's not. He's going to fight it, and
Yeah, I know
he
he's gonna
should,
fight it.
because the NRL match review committee have no brains.
And as I saw on the Facebook site, not our Facebook site.
No.
Oh,
it's
Tom.
it's because it's Jared.
Yeah,
It's because it's.
I
Jared.
agree. If it was another player, not Adam Fennell Blake, but another player, or Sam Burgess.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You could name off a whole bunch of players if it wasn't them.
Correct.
But
So
the
if it was
point
Sam,
is,
it was Jared.
doesn't matter.
It's worse.
Yeah.
That's what they say. It's
It
worse.
doesn't matter.
Yeah, it does.
It was late. It was high. At worst, it deserved.
It wasn't high.
Yes,
it was late. He could have pulled out,
Yeah.
and he did. He was coming from an offside position. So yes, should have been a penalty, but nothing more. And just on that, just so you know, I think Kalen Ponga's the best player I've seen at his age.
He's how much? How old?
Is he
19,
all
20?
19, 20? Yeah.
Yeah, he's sensational, isn't he?
Like,
I don't know.
If you think back to his skill set, Steve and I go back a bit here. You know, he reminds me
Not a lot.
He reminds me a little bit of a Phil Blake type character, with every skill under the sun, but just he's bigger and stronger.
Well, I would have actually compared his skill to Fittler, to be honest with you. But
Yeah, with his steps,
I think Fittler at his age was probably a little bit better.
A bit more compact. But
Wow.
his range
But I
is...
tell you, no, I'm
That
almost
individual
here with
try
you.
he scored was...
Well, can I just say, apart
quality.
from Ponga, Fittler would have been the next best young player that I've ever
he
seen.
wouldn't be as good a winger as Nathan Merritt, but I think
Go on the Facebook site and if you want to laugh, okay, if you want to laugh, go and have a look at Steve's comment.
It is a
about-
laugh too, let me just tell you. All right, anyway,
best
continuing
winger in
on.
the game.
Yes,
Anyway,
that's long enough. Okay.
Look, but I agree with you on Ponga.
Right.
Do we want to talk about Newcastle Knights?
No,
Mitchell
look,
Pearce had a brilliant game.
Mitchell Pearce has had 5 man of the match.
Yeah, hang on a minute.
And he's at the top of the Deli.
Did
and
you
I
hear-
hope he wins.
Did you hear Mitchell Pearce has just said, "Sorry boys, can't play for New South Wales. Got a bit of a groin thing I've got to work out." What a polite way of saying get stuffed.
And Trent Robertson came out during his media and said that I love Mitchell Pearce. He won a premiership with us, so he's a Newcastle Knight, but he's also a Rooster. And he scored the try and he kissed his Knight badge and he made a real point of saying, I'm a Knight, I'm not a Rooster anymore.
Yeah, that's right. That was an up you.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Is. Yeah.
As it should be.
Yeah.
Yeah. And look, I'm
They traded in their favourite son.
He was never going to win us a premiership, unfortunately.
In this form, he would.
Yeah, but he wasn't playing like that for us. Yeah.
Oh,
But
must,
you know what,
must be something to do with the coach.
And-
Must be something to do with Ponga.
And I'm glad that he's not in state of origin. I think he's done his time. Let's not go back there.
It would have been
again.
nice for him to win a series.
Yeah, it would have been. But
But he
let's not
never
go
played
back.
good enough for that.
All right, let's move on to GIO Stadium, where the North Queensland Cowboys beat Canberra Raiders 22-16.
All right, move along.
Why?
Oh, well, it's another game I got wrong.
Look,
At
the
this stage, I was still 0.
Cowboys took their opportunities.
Yeah, it
I
was.
think the Cowboys took
Yeah,
their
They
opportunities.
did. They played well. It wasn't a spectacular game.
No.
The Raiders lacked. And they've had 2 big games, Roosters and then South, were very intensive games.
Yeah.
They really lacked any intensity this time.
Hodgson, broken thumb, he's out again.
Yeah.
4 to 6 weeks maybe.
Yeah.
I think the Raiders' depth has been tested a little bit now.
Yeah.
And O'Neill, the ruptured spleen, he could be out for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
And he's been in really good form.
Yeah.
That's disappointing for them as well.
So, do you think North Queensland have turned the corner at all? Is there any...
Look, I think they're still a bottom 8 team, honestly. I don't think they're going to make the 8, but I think they're certainly improving. I think they'll finish in that sort of that 9 to 12 sort of area. I think that's as good as they're going to get.
Yeah. I don't know. It's hard to tell. Honestly, I think ladders that compact that I think you can really write off probably only a couple of teams, and there's a couple of teams for certain that I think are going to make the 8. But everybody else, it's all this great big jumble, this mix.
Sure.
But yeah, I think the Raiders are going to struggle from here on in.
Well,
sorry out there, Sugars.
have they played? I can't remember if they played many top 8 teams.
The Raiders, they played us. No, they didn't.
No, talking about real top 8 teams.
They played the Roosters. They've played. Have they played you? Yes. Yeah, they've played you.
Yeah, they
Oh,
did.
yeah, they did. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, last week.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, 2 games in a row.
Last week.
Yeah.
You even said it. They played the Roosters, then
That's right,
Souths.
yeah.
No, I haven't played Souths.
Sorry.
Like I said,
It's been a
finger
long
on the
day.
pulse.
It's been a long
Anyway.
day. All right, let's move on to Mount Smart Stadium. Honestly. Oh, dear. I finally picked a winner. Mount Smart Stadium, where the Broncos beat the Warriors 8-2.
And this was 2-2 until 59th minute.
Yeah.
Defensive game. You've got to love that. I mean, game of defence, but...
Yeah, but you know what? Their attack was pretty average. Both teams.
I didn't see... Yeah, couldn't
Both
see-
teams.
see a lot of
Just, Nicarima didn't seem to be able to get the Warriors going and it just really lacked any... Defence was good. That's all you can say about it. All you can say.
Yeah, I don't know. It was hard. It was hard to watch that one.
It really was.
I mean, I'm not a particular fan of either of these teams. I'll say it right now. And of course, I picked the Warriors because they were at home.
I noticed that. You're always saying you'll never pick the Warriors, and I noticed at home you picked the Warriors.
I know, because I didn't trust the Broncos away from Suncorp.
Yeah,
Guess what?
After one win in so many weeks.
Guess what? I'm wrong again.
It's good. It's good to be man enough to say it, Brian.
That's
I
right.
cannot pick the Warriors anymore though. They had both of those teams had lots of opportunity to put things away, and they didn't. It was last passes, kicks. Just I know you're saying it was defence, but geez, there were some poor options. So I don't want to. Yeah, I'm not dwelling on it. I'm not picking the Warriors again, unless they play the Titans at home
Are you
later on
picking
in the
Penrith
season.
again?
I think Penrith have the ability to turn things around.
Okay, look, to me that was an average game. Let's move on to ANZ Stadium where South Sydney Rabbitohs beat the Tigers 32-16.
You went to this game, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah. On your own?
Yep.
How's your
With
voice?
the Nigel friends?
On my own, I was with my 28,000. No, it wasn't. Was there 16 or
There were
18,000 people?
18,195.
Yeah. None of them
So,
South supporters.
I watched the highlights. What did you think of the game?
Look, I thought it was a good game. I was worried throughout. I must admit. I think South did what they had to do. The Tigers were exceptional at some points throughout the game. South led 12-0, 14-0. Tigers got back to 14-12. And with spectacular tries.
Yeah, I
The
saw the
first
Benji
try
Marshall.
by Benji Marshall was fabulous.
Oh, the
Really
hand
was.
off to Eastern Masters. Yeah. And even Benji's own try was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Corey Thompson makes a difference playing fullback.
Isn't he a sensational player? For his little size.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know why
He's dynamite.
Don't ask me. I don't get why he's not there full time.
I actually think he's a better fullback than Embo is.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a big call.
Well,
No,
Mbai
he is.
hasn't
Been setting the fire.
No.
Hasn't been setting the world on fire this year. Anyway, big call, but that's okay. You're allowed to have him.
Liam Knight scored a try.
Liam Knight's got a try.
He's he's come good since he's
Oh,
come to the Rabbitohs.
Yeah. I mean, Cameron Murray is another spectacular game. I was so disappointed for Reynolds. Adam
So
Reynolds
he doesn't have a fracture.
doesn't have a fracture. It's just bruising and cork.
Right,
That's
okay.
it.
Yeah, that's disappointing that they didn't.
So
consider
he
him.
could have. Yeah. Well, look, probably not. I would have thought that if he played out the game, he probably could have shown he could do enough to have.
Well, it
stayed
appears
already, but I think they've already made
it
the
appears
decision.
that they'd already made the decision
Yeah.
on Cleary. So, but yeah, look, Reynolds probably deserved a jersey, and it would have made a great combination. Cook, Walker, and Reynolds, terrific combination.
Yeah.
So,
But how good is Cook?
yeah, so I saw the highlights. He was speed. The try that he scored was just pure speed.
Yeah, but I was listening to a rival show this morning.
Excuse me. There is
Sorry.
such a thing.
There is, and they were talking about Damien Cook being while he was a junior coming through the was it Dogs
Yeah.
Dogs
Yeah,
ranks,
the Dogs, yeah.
and just being a very average reserve grader, and it was a toss of the coin whether to give it to him or someone else, and then he got his opportunity and he went to the Dragons, where again he was not setting the world on fire.
Yep.
But then it just took a long time for him to get that maturity and that decision making skills. When to run, when to pass, when to do the little things right.
Yeah.
And so he's the perfect example of never give up.
And so is Cody Walker.
Yeah, Cody Walker, oldest debutant for New South
Sure.
Wales. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just never give up.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes, and we all do it because we rave about the Kalen Pongers and the Brad Fittler when he came onto the scene and players like that, and we go, wow, 19, 20 years old, prodigy, fantastic. We forget about the blokes who are in their late 20s who are still plugging away, and then all of a sudden they start to hit their straps.
Yeah. And look, the one thing with Cook too is that he might have been an average player. He would have been the same player at all those other teams.
Yep.
But I think the coach, Michael Maguire, said to him, "This is how I want you to play. I don't want you just to be a dummy half and just pass," which is probably what he was doing elsewhere.
Yeah, he's using he started to use his speed a lot more.
He trained him to look, when the markers are split, take your run.
But he was a beach sprinter champion, so sure,
Yeah.
he just needed to use that. And Bennett's developed his short kicking game too.
It was interesting before the game, when the teams come out and warm up, 4 of them are now practicing kicking. So you've got Reynolds, you've got Walker, you've got Cook, and you've got Dane Gagai, all practicing their kicking into corners and so forth. So Souths are no longer that, one-man option of going to Reynolds all the time, and he just gets smashed.
Yeah.
They've now got so many options, it does make it hard. So
Other people to smash.
Yeah, more people to smash.
Well, yeah.
Can I
Catch me if
also
you
mention,
can.
I know we're going back, but it's probably noteworthy that Latrell Mitchell was put into the 5'8" position and he did nothing.
No, it was a disappointing position.
And I hope that he can look at that footage and go, well, you know what, I'm not ready, and I'm a pretty good
But he's
tender.
played 5'8" before and has been much better.
He was terrible.
But against much more average teams.
Yeah, he was terrible.
Against teams that weren't as committed in the defences.
So I think
as
we all
Newcastle
want
were.
to re-sign him as a centre. He wants to be 5'8". I just hope that he can be convinced. Otherwise, Brad Fittler's come out and said the Roosters, they should say no to him.
Yeah.
And that might mean we lose him. But I mean, he'll fail somewhere else, given a 5'8" job.
And he'll end up in the centres with them anyway.
Yeah. So anyway.
All right. Let's go on to Belmore Sports Ground, where the Storm beat the Dogs 28-6.
Hit me in the head, will you?
Yeah, why?
Hit me in the head.
Why did you change your tip?
Well, I actually put my tip in as the Dogs, and when after Saturday night, we were out, and I wanted to come home and change my tip, and then I had to go out Sunday morning. I forgot about changing my tip back to the Storm.
Be like I did the week before. Yeah, I get it.
So,
but I still don't understand why you went there in the first place.
I know. I just thought they troubled the Storm a few weeks back, and I thought the Storm was still on the edge of being good. They'd had a few ordinary games, so I thought, well, maybe the Bulldogs will just catch them by.
But you know what? At half time, this was 8-0. The Dogs were still in it.
Yeah.
And in fact, the Dogs were still in it probably even at the 65th minute?
45th minute, Addo scored for the second time.
Yeah.
I don't understand Dean Pay's using his bench and players. I'm actually confused. So you've got most of us will have at their club your 3 back rowers. You'll have your lock and your 2 second rowers, and they'll play 80 minutes, if not close to it. So I'm just looking at the minutes that their back rowers got. The Dogs, where are we? Minutes. So Josh Jackson, 80 minutes, as you would expect.
Yeah.
Corey Harawira-Naira, 49 minutes. Chris Smith, 39 minutes. Reece Martin on the bench, 31 minutes. I don't know why you carry edge forwards on your bench and they don't get minutes, or they take minutes off your starting forwards.
Yeah.
Because if those guys aren't good enough to play 80 minutes, just don't play them.
Don't play them. That's right.
I'm actually really confused because it's not. If it was a tactic that was working and they were winning, I think that we'd all be sitting back going, "What a genius!"
Yeah.
But the Dogs appear to lack that little bit of polish and ability, and changing your back rowers out is not the solution for them.
Which takes away any momentum that the team is building up throughout the game anyway.
Exactly.
So, I agree with you. I find some of his decisions a bit odd.
Hang on. So who's going great guns for you in the back row?
Cameron Murray.
Exactly. You, Boyd Cordner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We've got Jake Trbojevic.
Yeah.
And those guys are playing 80 minutes and they're making the opposition look silly at times because they're a big man running at a little man. And here you go, and you're taking them off and you're moving them around.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dean Pay, can you please ring us and explain?
We'll have to have Coach's Corner next week or something. All right, what do you think of Melbourne Storm?
They were good without being fantastic.
Yeah, they just did enough to win.
They're workmanlike. They're tradesmanlike, as they say.
Yeah.
They just get the job done. And that's what they do all season. They often don't shine. They just win a few points. They win a few. They have a couple of big wins. They just hang up there in the top, and then they get serious later on in the year.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I would like to see them play a bit more free, like they did against Parramatta.
Yeah.
Because if you look at their team and you have a look at who they've got in that team, in that back line, you kind of go, wow.
Well, Jerome Hughes got
Oh, that's something I was going to talk about that at the end.
Okay,
but he
going to
was
speed it up
he was
because I want to get
tremendous.
to state of origin. Yes.
All right, well, you got Vunivalu, Will Chambers, Adokar, Cameron Munster. Those guys can score 40 points on their own. Let them. Now, let's talk about that head knock.
Yeah, that was an awful thing, wasn't it?
So, tell me this. So
he didn't go off for a HIA. Did
he did not go off for a HIA.
And it was just basically head to
It was
head.
head to head,
And he was bleeding.
split open.
Yeah.
You could see his skull in his head. They wrapped him up and
how
let
did
him
the-
keep
How did the
playing.
independent doctors not see
Oh,
that?
no, and I'm not blaming Craig Bellamy, but we've seen players get and they go, oh, HIA, we'll get an interchange out of this.
Yeah.
Here was a legitimate head clash, and one of the players came off, and the other one kept on playing. Whoever that independent doctor is needs to be sacked.
Yeah.
Because if that was my club, and Jerome Hughes comes back
Yeah.
and says, with a concussion issue, you got hell to
Yeah,
pay. That's
exactly.
not
The
right.
interesting thing, he was asked in the press conference about that. Actually, I didn't see that.
Yeah, and Bellamy said it wasn't our decision.
Right.
Well,
Well,
but you know
but
what?
you got a
As
club
the
doctor
coach-
there as well.
As the
Yeah.
coach,
It
you've
doesn't
got-
matter. It wasn't his decision. There's protocol behind it, and he should have been.
And he should have been concerned for his player.
Okay, Win
Yep.
Stadium, Cronulla Sharks beat St George Illawarra 22-9.
Yes, a win.
He finally picks a winner.
Finally.
I got this one wrong, by the way, but Tom finally picks a winner. What's going on with the Dragons?
Oh.
I can tell you.
I know they've got some players
Paul
injured,
McGregor.
and I know Barry's going to ring up and say, "Oh, but look at the injuries. You got
No.
Winnipeg, you got."
Well, lots of.
But-
This
Yeah.
is the most. This is one of the most injury-ridden seasons I've seen across the board.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Oh.
And it's every club, including
Yeah.
the Sharks.
Yep.
Like, it's every club.
Yeah.
The Sharks have just got heart.
Yeah,
It's
I
got
mean,
heart.
Souths are going to struggle to field a team next week, I believe.
So manly. I think the thing that's wrong with the Dragons is not only their injuries, but the fact that they've got really poor retention when it comes to players. So they've got Ruben Garrick is absolutely killing it at Manly. They've got the young bloke, the young centre over at the Warriors, who was released from the Dragons. They've got a really poor retention policy. Because these guys aren't going away and spending a year or two in somebody's system and
Yeah.
then coming up. They're just going away and the next year playing first grade somewhere else.
Yeah.
Which means somebody's not letting Paul McGregor know,
Yeah.
hey, change this. But in saying that, Paul McGregor doesn't change things.
No, he doesn't.
He's playing the same defensive and attack pattern that he's played all year, all last year, all the year before.
Yeah.
And unless the forwards are really on top, they don't have a chance.
Yeah.
And
Wait.
the number 7, Ben Hunt was one out all game.
Yeah.
Just trying to make something happen.
Yep.
Just couldn't.
Yeah, he was very average. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know whether he was
But
average.
he was trying really hard.
He was working hard. He
Yes,
was
that's right.
trying everything in his bag of
Correct,
tricks to get
correct.
a win. And the problem is that he's trying all these things, and the Dragon structure is somewhere else. And so there's nothing happening when he comes through. You know, he'll make a break, but there's no one backing him up.
So what do we think of the Sharks? Where are they at the moment?
Oh, they're-
I think with Matt Moylan in that team, they could win a comp.
Matt Moylan was sensational.
Do you think he was
Wow.
the difference the other night?
Absolutely
Yes. I know Bronson Sherry scored 3 tries,
Yeah.
but
But
Matt
Because
Moylan,
he's
Matt Moylan nearly set up about another 6.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
He was sensational.
You forget how good he is. He's just come back and he's just playing footy.
Yeah.
And they've still got 2 or 3 players to come back into that
And
team.
big players
And
too.
big name
names.
players.
Big name players.
Mm.
Yeah. Wade Graham's. I think he's the one they're waiting on most.
Yeah.
Wade
Oh.
Graham.
I don't know. What about what's
Johnson?
Yeah, Sean Johnson.
Yeah, but Johnson was okay. And he's got
Oh.
huge potential. But I don't think he was playing to his potential before he got injured.
Yeah, but still, I don't think. Look, they've got a great forward pack. The Sharks forward pack is matching everyone else, and that's mostly due to Fafita and Gallen. Gallen's actually having a good
Brad
year.
Ueli.
Yep,
He's been good. Hamlin Ueli.
Yep,
Yep.
and the young back rower
Nakora.
Nakora.
He's sensational.
Anyway,
Nakora. Yeah.
They're all going great. They're
The
holding
Dragons
their
are
own.
Terrible.
Yep.
Yeah. And I can't see the Dragons making the 8. I'm sorry, Barry. Just
No.
can't see it.
Oh, I can.
No,
Barry's already said, see you next year.
I know. And I know, he bagged me out for the comment I made because I agreed with him. But
Yeah,
you know
you're an
what?
elitist. Remember, you said that. We said this last year,
Is
and you
what?
didn't deny it. You're an elitist,
Hang on.
and you didn't deny it last week.
Well, can I
Probably
just
won't
say,
deny it
hang
this
on,
week either.
let me do the ladder. Let me do the ladder.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
do the
Okay.
ladder.
Okay, Rabbits out on their own, 20 points. Then you've got the Storm and the Roosters on 16.
No. Storm
yeah.
are on 18.
Storm are
Oh,
18.
sorry, 18.
Roosters
Oh, yeah,
on
sorry.
16.
Roosters on 16. Those three are a lock for the 8.
And not only that, look at the difference now between those three and fourth place.
Yeah.
I mean, that gap is really starting to grow.
Which is exactly what I was going to say. So they're a lock for the 8.
Yeah.
On 12 points, you've got the Knights, the Raiders, the Sea Eagles, the Sharks.
Yep.
Then on 10 points, you've got Eels, Broncos, West Tigers, Cowboys. So theoretically, they're all within for and against points in the 8.
And their for and against is not that different either.
Yep. And then you've got Warriors, Dragons on 8 points. I think both of those can make the 8. Thinking they're only one win out now, one big win out. Titans, Panthers, Bulldogs all on 6, and I think only the Panthers have the ability to churn that around.
Yep.
So I think Titans and Bulldogs are gone, and I think Rabbitohs, Storm, Roosters are a lock.
I find it amazing the gaps now between those. Previous years, it's always been close.
Well, last year, remember, there was
You
2 points separating the 8. The whole 8.
That's why I was more disappointed in the Manly loss. If we'd won that by 30 points, we would have been clearly in 4th place.
Yeah.
Clearly in 4th place, and just a couple of wins off the top teams. I'm thinking that's brilliant.
If you'd won it by 30.
Instead of losing it by 30, yeah.
That's
All
a
right.
60-point turnaround.
I know, it's-
That's a lot to ask.
Well, it's not considering they were playing last place.
All right, gentlemen, I want to move on to State of Origin.
Yes.
Okay, we probably haven't got time to go through both teams, so we can either go through Queensland or New South Wales. What would you like to talk about? New South Wales, good.
Yeah, a couple of
Okay.
points from each. Yeah.
James Tedesco.
Yep.
We're happy with that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No problem
Best
at all.
playing the game.
Josh Adokar. We're
Yep.
happy?
Yep.
Best player in the game?
Yep.
We'll give it to him. Josh Adokar, we're fine.
Yep.
Latrell Mitchell,
Yep.
we're
Yep.
fine. Josh Morris.
Because of his defensive abilities on that
No.
right-hand side, absolutely.
I had him in mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nick Kotrick.
Sa-
I love this decision.
I'm happy with that. I would have went probably with Ferguson for the experience, but I'm happy with Kotrick.
Yeah, Tom?
Yeah, look, I haven't watched Kotrick enough. I know he's got some ability, but
Oh, he
he wouldn't have
does.
been a person I would have picked. You know.
I like him.
Who would you have picked instead?
No,
Ferguson?
probably Ferguson until the other night. But I still think he probably would have performed for you.
Yep.
In
Oh,
a good
no,
side,
yeah.
I think he would
Yep.
have performed for you.
Done.
Yeah.
So we're all happy.
We're all happy with the back line. Cody Walker at 6.
Yeah. Once Kiri went down, I was happy to put Cody Walker in.
Happy for Cody Walker to be in the team, worrying about his combination with Nathan Cleary.
Okay. So this is where the discussion is going to be.
Yeah.
So Nathan Cleary is at 7.
Yep.
And I've learned to live with that because he performed well last year. He's probably our level head, and that's what
Yep.
they're probably going to need with
Well,
so many debutants.
as I made the comment when the team was put up on our Facebook NRL from the Sidelines page, Steve wasn't very happy about Kiri being picked.
Walker
Cleary being
yeah,
picked.
Yeah.
I'm happy because I think defensively he's the best half in the comp, and I think his kicking game is solid, and I think behind a forward pack that's going forward, he's going to go great, which means whoever plays outside of him at 5'8" can play their own natural game. So for Kiri, if it was Kiri, then that was going to be a running game linking outside with Boyd Cordner.
And Latrell Mitchell.
For Walker, it's going to be just one-on-one taking on the defence and having Tedesco back him up. I don't think we lose with Kiri in the team.
I didn't object to Cleary being in the team.
Yep.
I objected to the carry on that we stick because we need to be loyal.
No, that's garbage.
My challenge is, why is loyalty only expected to be one way? And if we're so set on loyalty, why isn't Maloney in there?
Yeah.
Maloney actually played better than Cleary did last year.
Yeah.
Cleary had a very average 3 games.
No, I don't.
But when you
I
look
think
back at it,
Maloney
he did
was
the
the
job
one who
that was
got-
required
he did
of
the
him.
job,
He did
but that
nothing
was
more
it.
than it was required
No.
of him, but he did what was required
Yeah,
of
no,
him.
I'm not questioning that at all. But Maloney was the one who made the big plays.
Sure.
So why can't
Yep.
we? Why do we stick loyal to one
Yeah.
and not to another?
I don't believe stick loyal anyway. You just pick
Well,
the
then-
players that are
then-
going to get the job
Then
done.
you would never have picked Cleary this time around.
Sure.
No, you would have, because who else are you going to pick?
Reynolds.
Reynolds.
I don't think. No, there wasn't a struck match between them.
Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you have look at Reynolds? Why wouldn't you look at Cronulla halfback?
Chad Turner,
No,
Chad
he's not
Townsend.
got the game. I don't care what they say. He hasn't got the game.
He's playing exceptional.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
and he
he's-
could bring the game to a big game.
No, he can't.
Yeah, I look. I
No,
don't mind the
I
fact-
actually think Cleary was playing the best, and the best person got chosen.
Well, I mean, Pearce
See-
was the best, but
No.
Pearce wasn't going to get chosen anyway.
See-
Well, Pearce said he ruled himself
I
out.
know.
So
Yeah, and people were saying that, you know, the problem with Cleary is that Penrith aren't doing well, and that makes sense if you're saying they're not scoring long range tries, but Penrith are being tackled in the opposition's defence in opposition's 20 more than any other time and still can't score.
they're not. Well,
That is on the half and 5/8.
yeah, but they're not. But they're not getting. As I said, they're not getting the ball to him. I don't know
Okay.
why. I don't.
Neither
Look,
do
the,
I.
the problems are deep at Penrith, and I
Yeah.
don't think it's his fault.
All right, look,
Forward pack.
I struggle with it. Anyway, okay, let's move on to Dave Clemmer,
Yep.
Yep,
Damien Cook,
Yep.
absolutely.
Paul Vaughan,
Yep.
Yeah,
Boyd Cordner,
Yep.
Yep.
Tyson Frizzell,
Yep.
see if how his head is.
I know. Let me just tell you. I know that he's not in great form, but he has the ability to change a game.
He lives in
yeah,
Origin.
Tyson Frizzell you're talking about.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Jake Trebojevic.
Yep.
Yeah, we're all happy with that.
Now
Jack Whiten.
Yeah, he wasn't in my team.
he's the one I'm not sure about.
Well, I would have had Cody Walker in that position when we had other options.
Yep.
But he's probably a decent pick on form.
I think you need a
It's
utility
utility.
back, and I think he's one of 4 or 5 people that could have gone there.
I'm worried about the size of the bench.
Mm-hmm.
This is my biggest fear because now we look at Jack Whiten on the bench, Payne Haas,
Yeah.
Big Bopper.
Oh
I
yeah.
got no problem with him. being there.
I'm ecstatic that he's there.
But then you have Cameron Murray and Angus Crichton.
Yep.
So you
They're very
take
similar players.
Payne Haas out, and they're very similar.
Mm.
You take Payne Haas out of that,
Yep.
and you got 3 small bench players.
Well, that's
Yep.
why I wanted Matt Lodge there.
Mm.
I actually think Matt Lodge has been an unsung hero for
Well,
that
see,
I
team.
want to
this
know
is-
why Josh Jackson's not there.
No.
Yeah,
Josh
and you're gonna
Josh
lose
Jackson
inside
is
his heart.
one dimensional. He makes tackles.
Josh Jackson is usually the best player in
Josh
the Dogs team, and gosh, what do you want for State of Origin? You want the forwards to make tackles.
Well,
don't you?
well then you've got Boyd Cordner and Jake Trebojevic there. What more do you want?
Because
I'm
I
no.
want someone when they come off the bench to do exactly the same thing.
No, you don't, because those guys, they're going to push Jake and Tyson Frizzell up into the forwards, up in the front row, who are both big units, and that's when they're going to bring their back rowers in.
At some point through the game, you're going to have Cameron Murray and Angus Crichton out there.
Yep.
You're going to have 2 then larger players sitting on the bench.
Yep.
That's when Queensland could run over the
All
top.
right, just quickly look at the Queensland side.
Yep.
Someone got it? Because I haven't pulled it up.
Oh my goodness, how slow are you?
Yeah, here you go.
Are you right there? You having a bad day or something?
I'm having a rotten day, a rotten week.
It's only Monday.
Oh,
I know.
that's the video.
He's still arming.
It's still arming an
All right, but while we're talking about it, so Cherry Evans, 0 games in 4 weeks, comes
Yep.
straight into the Origin side and is captain.
Yep. Milford's in there.
Yep, that surprises me,
Me too.
but I don't know what else they could have done because they're a little bit light on in the backs.
So you got Cherry Evans at 7. You've got Michael Morgan at 6.
No, Michael Morgan's in the centres.
In the centres.
Yes,
So
you got a lot
Yeah.
of playmakers. I heard today they're saying that there's at least five blokes who can carry the ball. That's a video.
Yeah.
We just can't get this up, people. Like, we're a very professional mob here.
Yes. Anyway, can't see it. Yeah, can't see it.
okay, so
That's because we don't care because it's Queensland.
Yeah, it was hunting
so,
9.
but,
It was.
but you got Milford. You got Milford playing. So
Yeah.
why wouldn't you? Why? Yeah. Look, I'm worried about Cherry Evans at halfback.
Yeah.
I actually don't think he'll do poorly. But I wanted the Queensland team.
So
but
you don't think he'll do poorly?
No. I'm curious to see the bench. I forgot what their bench was. I'm really sorry. Here we go. All right.
I'll read out very quickly. Ponga,
Yep.
Oates, Morgan,
Chambers.
Gagai, Munster, Cherry Evans, Arrow, Ben Hunt, Josh Papali, Felice Kafusi, Matt Gillette, Josh Maguire, and the interchange Moses Mbai, Joaf Offengawi, Dylan Napa, David Fafita.
Right. Well, you know what's wrong with that team?
Right.
They're starting off with their small men. They're starting off with Jairo and Josh Papali in the prop position, and they both play in the back row.
Oh, but Papali's
Papali's
a
pretty
monster.
big.
He's a monster. He'll get them started off.
And
really
so will
well.
Arrow. I mean, he's usually the best player for the Titans.
Yeah,
week
considering
in, week out.
considering he didn't play last
Jared
week.
Wallace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They picked Arrow over Wallace, and
Good,
Arrow's
yes,
a small man compared to
Um,
Wallace.
David Fafita, I don't think his head's in the game.
Oh, I think that's a great choice. You
Uh,
don't think David
No.
Frieda?
Moses Mbai, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm questioning that one.
Joe Offengawi, really? These are kids that are not getting the job done at a club level. That's my concern. So I know you were saying we've picked a smaller bench, but Queensland have picked kids on their bench who they haven't cemented their first grade spot.
But I think we had this argument a few years back about this is the best you can put on the field, pretty much the best they can put on. We've got so many options now. They don't have as many options.
Yeah.
And they're putting the best team they can put on.
You know,
I mean, Kafusi, I wouldn't have picked him.
can I just say?
Maroons
No, I
Origin.
would have actually.
Can I just say?
Yeah.
Kalen Ponga.
Yeah, wherever you play him.
Well, that's why they picked Josh Morris, because down that left-hand side attack, Josh Morris is going to be there because you're going to have Cherry Evans to Munster to Ponga, and
That's pretty scary to be
I don't know
honest.
which side Michael Morgan's playing. He'll be playing that side as well, so you've got a lot of strike there.
Yeah, and I'm not sure that old Josh Morris, as much as I think he's a good player,
Well, he can't do it on his own.
He's lost a lot of speed.
But he made some really important tackles.
It's only going to be one game. Tom will be back next time.
He will either be a superhero or he'll be an absolute
A super
flop.
dud.
Yeah.
All right,
it'll be
next
terrible.
week.
Okay, so let's move on to next week. So we're going on to round 12.
which is a bye round.
Bye round.
Yep.
We've got a shortened round this week. So at Thursday night, we've got at Panthers Stadium, we've got the Penrith Panthers against the Manly Sea Eagles.
Done. Easy.
Yeah, this is what we said last week.
Yeah, it's done without Jake, without Cherry, without Tom, without Brad Parker now.
And now without Nathan Cleary, and that's all.
Without Nathan Cleary too.
And mind you, that's when Maloney usually steps up and plays really well when Cleary's not there. Remember last year when one of
Yes.
them was out, the other played really well?
So,
Yep.
So you're going to have in your halves? LG?
LG and Cust again.
Yeah, well, that's not too...
I don't know who's going to play in the centres though. I don't know who's going to play in the centres for Parker because
Walker's back though, isn't he?
yeah, he was back last week. But
Yeah.
Moses Sully is still injured. Brad Parker's now got a broken jaw. Tom isn't back. I don't know. I think they may bring in Jade Anderson at fullback and play Brendan Elliott in the centres.
Is Cherry Evans the only Manly player?
And Jake.
State of origin? And Jake.
Yeah.
So one for each team.
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to go Penrith.
Oh, you are a hateful man. Tom's going to go Penrith too because he's hateful.
I don't like tipping Penrith.
Then don't.
But
But it's,
But
but it's Penrith at
but
home.
with so many players, so many more good players out.
no, no.
It's going to be tough. Yeah, I think I'll probably be going for...
Bloody hateful people you are.
So, Brian, you're going Manly.
Yes, and we will win that.
Okay.
We will win that.
You will.
Mitch, we will win that. Brad, we will. Dave, we will win that. There are Penrith supporters out there.
Okay.
Yeah. Does that say something about the show? I think it might. Okay, let's move on to Bankwest Stadium where the Parramatta Eagles play the South Sydney Rabbitohs.
So,
Now,
Eels have
you
lost
think you've got
nothing.
some problems.
Yeah.
Eels have lost nothing. You've lost Cody Walker,
Yep.
Cameron Murray, Damien Cook,
And Gagai.
and Gagai.
On top of the injuries that we have.
So who you got out? I can't remember.
Braden Burns.
Yep.
Obviously lost Greg Inglis earlier in the year. I'm presuming Reynolds will be back.
Johnson.
We've got Johnson out. So we've got a few of the lesser names.
Because you said 10 players out
Yeah, we have.
on Facebook.
Yeah, we've got 10 players there.
Lesser names.
as-
Yeah.
No,
as do we.
out of the 30,
Yeah.
so every team has 30.
Sure.
Out of that, you bring 10 players, we're down to 20.
Yeah.
Now we lose 4 to State of Origin.
Well, but we're so bad we had to ask for dispensation to get an extra player
Well,
put in.
Souths are doing the same. Souths are doing the same.
So I don't know how that's going to work. Like, yeah, talk about injury ravaged.
So look, on paper you'd think the Eels should
No,
win
I'm
this
still
game,
going the
but-
Rabbits. I'm not going the Eels again.
Yeah.
There's a lot of teams that you're not picking this year, and you're going to have a problem when they play each other.
I'm fence sitting at the moment. I've got to have a serious think about this.
I'm actually a little bit relieved Reynolds is going to play.
See,
Well, he won the game. He won the semi-final on his own.
That's right.
So-
We'll bring Sutton
well,
back into 5.
that's right. Well, I'm not hateful. I'm picking the Bunnies because I can be unbiased.
Yeah. And look, I think the Bunnies can do it. You
No,
know,
I don't think
agree.
anyone can do it. Go away. Next game.
I'm not choosing against the Bunnies because they're the Bunnies. I'm
Yeah,
choosing because they're missing
But Steve's
all their good
picking.
players.
Steve's picking against Manly just because it's Manly.
Oh,
no,
okay.
it's not.
He's picked Manly once this year.
Probably twice.
Once.
Okay, let's move on to ANZ Stadium where the Bulldogs are playing the Canberra Raiders on Saturday night.
I'm going to go the Dogs in an upset.
I tried that last week. It didn't work.
Yeah.
Raiders.
Nah, not without Hodgson.
So who have the Raiders lost? They've lost Hodgson. They've lost
Kotrick,
Bateman.
Kotrick.
Whiten,
Kotrick and White. Oh, jeez.
and then on top of that you've got Bateman still out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Rapana.
and Lua.
you've got-
Rapana, Leilua. I'm not picking them. No way.
Yeah, it's starting to sway me now.
But it's the Dogs.
Yep. Who have been wholehearted, even in their losses.
Okay.
They've lost Napa.
Oh, they did too.
And, yeah, Napa. Yeah.
I know. Oh no, that's right. He plays Tigers now.
Imbo, yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking the same thing.
Okay, so last game is on Sunday. We're at Seabus Super Stadium where the Titans are playing North Queensland.
They're both showing a little bit of form all of a sudden. I'm going to go the Titans at home.
The Titans have lost a couple. Jaira is usually their best player.
Yeah, he didn't play against
Yeah,
Manly.
the
and they
Cowboys
still beat
lost
us.
Michael Morgan.
Michael Morgan.
Matt Scott didn't get a jersey.
No, he
didn't get picked.
No,
Jordan McLean didn't get picked.
I'm going to go the Cowboys.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think I'd be going the Cowboys as well.
Yeah, the Titans one win, even if it was against my beloved Eagles, is not
Yeah.
enough to bring them back
No,
into contention.
I can't trust the way they're playing at the moment. I think they.
Yep.
So we also then we have buys with Brisbane, Cronulla, Melbourne, Newcastle, St George, Roosters, Warriors, and West Tigers.
And Storm. Did you say Storm?
Yeah, Storm as well.
Yes. So Tom, you can sit back this week knowing you're going to get guaranteed 2 points.
So
Barry
Storm.
can do the same.
Yep.
Sally can do the same.
Yep.
Janelle's going to be
Disappointed.
yelling for the Eels.
Yes, there you go.
So that's it.
Yep.
Okay, so we bring the show to an end, gentlemen.
We will.
Brian, you got anything intelligent you want to end it with?
This is a trick question, gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, I've just discovered that.
I ask you the same question every week.
Yeah, I know, but every time I say you say anything intelligent.
You could argue that you keep asking because you haven't got one yet.
Exactly. Well, why do you think I keep asking?
If I say I've got nothing,
It's going to be so frustrating not seeing my team play. That's going to be frustrating not seeing my team play.
yeah. Look, I plan on going out on Thursday night, sitting in the cold, watching my
Oh, the
team,
Panthers.
watching my team beat the Panthers.
Maybe we should all go.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
Steve's a hater.
Oh, you could go to Bankwest. You're going to go to Bankwest?
No.
He
I'm
went
going
to
when we play
Bankwest.
the Tigers.
All right. Anyway,
All right. Thank you for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the show, and we'll do it all again next week. Thank
See
you.
ya.
Bye-bye.
See ya. You'll be